Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Reports say a UN employee killed in Gaza on Tuesday is an Indian citizen. According to a spokesman, Colonel Vaibhav Anil Kal, a retired army officer, was in the car which was on its way to a hospital in Rafah. News outlets quoting the Israeli military said the car was struck in an active combat zone and the military had no prior information about UN employees traveling in the area. Reports said it was the first international casualty, and it comes as the Israeli army pushed deeper in Rafah, the final stronghold of Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The UN condemned the attack and demanded a full investigation. It also conveyed its condolences to the family of the victim. According to the UN, more than 190 of its staff have died since the conflict in Gaza started. A day after US warned that nations doing business with Iran risked sanctions, India urged Washington not to take a narrow view of its port arrangement with Tehran. India and Iran signed a 10-year agreement to develop the strategically significant port of Chabahar. The Indian government has defended the deal and said it would benefit the region. External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar said the port deal with Iran is actually for everyone's benefit. The Chabahar port in southern Iran provides India a land route to Afghanistan and Central Asia, bypassing arch-rival Pakistan. According to officials, 2,000 tons of pulses and 2.5 million tons of wheat have been delivered from India to Afghanistan through Chabahar port till now. India's Supreme Court has freed the editor-in-chief of Newsclick website and said his arrest under anti-terrorism laws was illegal. Delhi police arrested Prabir Purkayastha in October last year on charges of terror funding and promoting Chinese propaganda in the country. The court said reasons for the arrest were not given in writing, therefore the arrest was void. It also said the trial court will impose the bail conditions. The HR head of the website, who was also arrested in the case, became an approver. Newsclick, which is a news website, hit the headlines days after a New York Times investigation claimed that it had received funds from a network spreading Chinese propaganda. The leader of the Trinamool Congress has offered conditional support for the opposition India bloc in forming a government after the national election. Mamata Banerjee, who is the chief minister of West Bengal state, said that her party would help in every possible way so that people in her state will not have problems. But she said the India bloc should not include the regional rivals CPM and the Bengal Congress. India bloc is a grouping of over 20 political groups under the Congress party, which is trying to unseat the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the polls that end on June 1st. There's more trouble for Indian spices after Singapore and Hong Kong banned two companies from selling their products in April. They said spices made by MDH and Everest contained high levels of the pesticide ethylene oxide, which causes cancer. According to reports, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is among the latest to share this concern. It said it is examining products from the two Indian companies for pesticide contamination. The European Union has also expressed concerns of its own after finding the same carcinogen in Indian peppercorn and chili pepper samples. Reports said food inspectors in Australia, Bangladesh, and the Maldives have also opened investigations into reports of contamination. India makes up 12% of the world's spice exports with its close to $4 billion worth of exports. The largest markets for Indian spices are Bangladesh, China, and the United States. The Suba-e-Banaras cultural program got underway at the famous religious site of Kashi in Uttar Pradesh. Participants engaged in various rituals such as yoga on the banks of the Ganga River, and devotees took a holy dip as they do every day. Several foreign tourists also visited the site to witness the event and participate in the yoga sessions. It is believed every moment spent at the location leaves a positive impression on the minds of people. Tourists from Mexico said the experience was divine. Early morning boat rides on the Ganges are a popular tourist activity and a big draw among many visitors. Some foreign tourists were also seen watching the sunrise from the riverbanks.
Well, today is my last day in Varanasi, and to be honest, was the most beautiful experience that I ever have. Come to India. India is really amazing. I already visited too many countries around the world, but India made me practically shocked in the first moment that I arrived, but in a good way. India is one of the most beautiful places that I ever seen in all my life, definitely.
Varanasi, it's I think one of the holiest and most famous places in all India because of its magic, of the vibe. Really, you see every place and there's one temple, one people praying. It's everywhere you go there's something really magic. Varanasi, Benares has been really amazing in this part for me.
Singapore's long-serving Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong is stepping down after 20 years in office, which marks the end of a political era in the tiny East Asian country. Only 3 prime ministers have led Singapore since its independence in 1965, and they are all members of Lee's People's Action Party, which is currently in power. Lee will formally turn over the reins to Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Lawrence Wong. He is also a former civil servant and economist and Lee's private secretary at one point. He has pledged to create a more inclusive Singapore that provides greater assistance to the underprivileged and the aging population. Lee will continue to have a role in cabinet, but many say the change represents a shift in Singapore's political leadership as it emerges from the shadow of Lee family. US President Joe Biden is raising taxes on electric cars, steel, solar panels, and other products manufactured in China. According to the White House, the move was meant to protect US jobs and to counter unfair trade policies. The measures include 100% border tax on Chinese electric cars. According to analysts, the tariffs were mostly symbolic and meant to boost support during a difficult election year. They come after months of criticism from Biden's election rival Donald Trump that the government's support for electric vehicles would kill the American auto sector. Sources in the White House said the decision was not the outcome of domestic politics. China's foreign ministry has said that it will take all necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. In what appears to be a reversal of its earlier position, the White House has told the Congress that it intends to give Israel more than $1 billion worth of weapons. According to reports, the package would include armored tactical vehicles, mortars, and tank shells, which need the approval of lawmakers. Only last week, President Biden declared that if Israel carried out an invasion on Rafah, he would stop sending arms. According to Palestinians, Israeli tanks moved farther into residential neighborhoods in the southeast of Gaza on Tuesday. A U.S. State Department study released on Friday said Israel may have violated international law by using some U.S.-made weaponry. In the run-up to the presidential election, U.S. weapons exports to Israel has become a political dilemma for President Biden. The U.S. Department of Justice has said it is contemplating whether to bring charges against plane maker Boeing in connection with 2 fatal accidents involving the 737 MAX aircraft. It said Boeing violated the conditions of a 2021 agreement that protected it from criminal charges related to accidents. Boeing has denied any breach of the contract. A total of 346 persons were killed in the crashes, one in Ethiopia in 2019 and another in Indonesia in 2018. There have been demands for investigations against the aircraft maker from the relatives of the victims. The trouble for Boeing started in January when a door of its 737 MAX jet came off in mid-air shortly after takeoff. Since then, Boeing planes have been involved in a series of safety incidents, which has sparked global concerns. A study has found that the summer of 2023 was the hottest in the Northern Hemisphere in the last 2 millennia. The findings published in the Nature warned the upcoming summer might be considerably hotter due to global warming caused by human activity and the El Niño weather pattern. According to earlier research, 2023 was the hottest year since 1850, when modern global temperature data were first kept. Through the use of climatic reconstructions and instrumental measures, the researchers were able to create a record spanning 2,000 years. The research indicates that in the Northern Hemisphere, the 2015 Paris Agreement's target of keeping temperature increases to 1.5 C over pre-industrial levels has already been superseded, but it said the findings are not applicable globally since the pace of warming differs across high and low latitudes. After a significant update, Google's Gemini AI now offers a variety of new solutions, ranging from chat and search functions to AI hardware for cloud users. Some features provide insights into Google's AI strategy and revenue streams, even though they are still under beta or only available to developers. Google CEO Sundar Pichai gave the opening keynote at the company's annual developer conference on Tuesday. He focused on Gemini, the company's sophisticated AI model, which was recently upgraded to the 1.5 Pro version. Gemini powers important services like Android, Photos, Workspace, and Search, with the goal of enhancing AI's usefulness for all users. Google revealed that Gemini will be able to provide Gmail with enhanced AI capabilities to summarize particular emails in their inboxes. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.